Hi, everyone. Wow, I'm so excited to see people on early. Welcome to the official virtual launch of a PR Chicks Guide 8. Well, I almost said the old book, 8 Steps to Building Your Personal Brand. But this is the official launch of a PR Chicks Guide to Building Your Online Brand. This is my second workbook, but book number 4. And I'm just so excited that for this launch, I get to share it with everybody. So thank you so much for joining. I know, Rochelle, you've been on from like 6:40 p.m. Having your dinner and waiting for us to start. So thank you so much for coming on early. And welcome, guys. I'm so excited for you to be a part of this experience. For those meeting me for the first time, my name is Naomi Garrick. I'm also known as the PR Chick. I am also the CEO and founder of Garrick Communications, a boutique PR agency here in Kingston, Jamaica. I'm an international speaker, an author, and most recently, or at least over the last 4 years, I have also become a personal brand coach and trainer. And so what I essentially do is I help individuals, creatives, corporate executives, employees, professionals, CEOs to build better personal and professional brands. And essentially, I do that by helping them to get that initial clarity that they need to understand who they are, understand what their unique value is, and then how to really communicate that efficiently and effectively to their ideal audience so that they can be attracting a lot more revenue generating opportunities. But what we're launching tonight is the workbook that will help you to build that online brand. That's going to help you to position, package, and promote your online brand in this growing online space. Because even though the pandemic seems to be kind of over-ish, online is not going anywhere. And there are so many amazing opportunities in this growing space. And I want to be able to help to navigate and guide you through some of the steps that can really help you to position your brand so that you are really attracting people who need to know and hear about you and learn about how you can actually solve their problems because of your unique value, your knowledge, your experience, and your expertise. So thank you, guys. We are going to get right into the show in a minute, but I want to say a really big thank you to my partner for this launch, Sagicor Jamaica. I feel like I'm a part of the Sagicor family. For the last 2 years, I have been helping or really showing the Sagicor investment advisors how they can stand out, even in a space that has a lot of people doing similar things, how they can stand up with their own expertise. And what I love about this brand is that they believe in empowering their employees. And so our first guest, who we're not bringing on just yet, we're going to talk a little bit about that to really show why even your employee's brand, just as an employee within a company, has so much relevance and so much opportunities for both the employee and the employer. So we have some amazing guests that are coming on tonight. We're going to talk about how you can empower your employees to build better personal brands. We're going to look at how do you secure your brand, especially in this online world where you have people stealing identities, but also you have opportunities where you can actually launch your brand, monetize your brand, but you have to ensure that your brand is secured. So we're going to talk with someone about that. We're going to talk also about how you can actually create an entire business from your online brand. And then we're going to talk about how can you expand your reach and monetize that brand once you started to position it in this online world. So it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of insight. Get your notepads, get your pens, get a glass or a cup of your favorite beverage. We're going to be here for an hour, and stick and stay for the entire launch because we're doing some awesome giveaways, including some opportunities to get your hands on a copy of the workbook, but also someone's going to win a PR Chick brand box tonight that has a lot of really cool stuff. It has both copies of my workbooks, a mini ring light courtesy of Sagicor, and a beautiful journal done by Sagicor as well. So if you want to get your hands on that, make sure you stay till the end so you can hear about all the goodness. So we're going to jump right into this, and I want to introduce my first guest. Very excited. She looks so fabulous backstage. I can see her on my screen. I'm going to invite Alysia Moulton-White. She is the Vice President of Group Marketing at Sagicor, and she's going to talk about empowering employees to be brand advocates. So let's welcome Alysia to the launch. Let's see some claps in the chat. Hey, Alysia.
Hi, honey. How are you? Congratulations.
Thank you so much. It's been a pretty busy but exciting day today. And of course, people have been receiving their brand boxes with all of their goodies. So everybody's very, very excited. You look lovely as always.
Thank you. Thank you. So do you. I received my box as well. I am very excited about one particular thing, but I guess we can talk about that.
No, tell us what you're very excited about.
Sure. And for those of you who want to win a box tonight, one of the items in the box is the Sagicor journal. And that reflection that you're seeing there is my new ring light as well. So thank you very much. But this journal was created, it's custom made by our in-house graphic artist. Her name is Chanel Bramwell. She goes by the name Cali Dani, Cali Dani Dani Designs, and she custom made it. And I know Naomi was really excited. Yes, we want to do a branded journal, but on every page it has one of Naomi's sayings. Why fit in when you were born to stand out, on every page.
Love that.
And the lines are pink, and I can't tell you how much I love that.
Guys, I didn't even know. So when I had asked Sagicor for some journals, I just thought, they'll be sending the traditional corporate journals that has the logo on the front. And when I opened this box with these pink journals that said, born to stand out, and the quote at the bottom of each page, I was really excited, and it's so aligned with this brand that I have created as well. So thank you so much, Alysia and the Sagicor team, for putting this together for me. What I want to talk to you about, Alysia, tonight, though, is that one of the things with my own experience with Sagicor over the last 2 years is that you guys have invested a lot in ensuring that your team members really understand the value that they bring individually to the whole of Sagicor, right? By really empowering them with the tools through the workshops and through the trainings for them to really understand that even though they're in a profession that may have hundreds of them doing similar things, they each, because of their own experience and expertise, can target a specific type of audience so that they can maximize the opportunities in this space without necessarily competing with each other, because they all offer something different. So I want you to talk a little bit about why Sagicor would choose to take that kind of route with their employees.
Thank you. Now, this is something that likely my HR team can speak to. I speak on behalf of Sagicor tonight, but my HR team is really at first they had engaged you, for example, Naomi, and asked you to come in and talk about that whole idea of personal branding, something that I admit that I didn't even think about very, very much. When I in my marketing career, I didn't think about it a lot. And it's ironic that we have launched several people into the world of sales and marketing, several other genres of just professions, and we've never, doctors, never thought of what personal branding means. And I like to say that who you are and how you make people feel. And I think it's called a Venn diagram. My daughter's in PEP now, so I have to know these things. Where those two circles, if you think of those as circles, where those two circles intersect, that's your brand. And that's whether or not if you are exactly, and if people interact with you and they're eating sour lime, or they feel like they have just walked a marathon just by talking to you, or they feel light and airy and they feel like they can climb a mountaintop, that is your personal brand. Whether it's negative or positive, that is who you are. Absolutely. And branding is your promise of how you will make people feel every time they come into your presence. And Sagicor's brand is strong, but our brand is strong because we focus so much on people, and we have a mantra. It's something, it's our culture. I don't want to call it mantra, but our culture is people first. And
Yes.
that means that our people, our community, our clients, our team members, people people make up this world. It's not, no matter where we go in the metaverse, superverse, digiverse, whatever, it is people. It is people who make up this world. And so as a company, we have recognized that people sell our products. We are a company, we're a very successful entity, and we sell invisible products. And
Yes.
who do we rely on to do that? We don't have anything tangible. We can't give you anything over the counter or anything like that. No, it is invisible products and an experience that we sell. And so
Yes.
we have decided that we have to make our team members feel like, for the most part, feel like you are who represent the brand Sagicor. You
Yes.
are Sagicor. We are Sagicor.
Absolutely. Well,
And you have helped us a lot with that, I have to say.
well, one of the things is that, what people I think don't realize, and just individuals, is that when you choose to work for a company, whether you like it or not, you automatically become a part of their brand, and their brand becomes
Right.
a part of yours, because that becomes an identifier for you. We don't see, Alysia, and not think Sagicor at the same time. It's now a part of your brand, right?
It is.
And the thing about that is that, especially in the industry that you're in, it involves a lot of trust. And people trust people more than they trust companies and brands. And so
Yeah,
that's
well,
why what you're doing is so important.
yeah, what we are doing, people are not buying, it's finance, it's money, what that we sell
Hmm.
here. So we have hundreds of insurance advisors, investments advisors, banking
Hmm.
advisors. We call ourselves financial advisors ourselves.
Yes.
Financial advisors. If they ever
Yes.
heard me, they'd be like, "No, you're not, Alyssa." However, trust is a major part of who you spend your money with, who you
Absolutely.
who you spend your time with. Trust is a huge part of that. Nobody will buy from you, will entertain you, will take an appointment with you if your brand is not strong. And what do I mean by strong? You don't have to be a major online personality influencer. You have to recognize that you yourself, you the person, you are a brand. And when we align ourselves with each other, I mean, Sagicor is lucky to have many of the people that we have working with us. Sagicor is lucky to
Yes.
have my team, myself, several investments advisors and insurance advisors. But when that marriage comes together, that's when it's just so critical, so critical, that the brands align, and that the brand is selling itself to our clientele. I feel like i feel like Naomi is frozen for a little bit. Is that just me, or oh boy, and then it's
So
and
guys, we're living in this online
oh
world,
wait,
right? So these things happen.
oh honey, I was listen. Wait, I was about to take out your book and start to sell it. What? I was ready. I was ready.
This is the world we live in, guys. We have to be switching from data to Wi-Fi, but we're back, and we're good. Alysia, one of the things I want to say, so Tony Robbins has this quote that says something like, people are no longer just in the business of buying goods and services. They're in the business of feeling connection and emotion. And that's the world that we live in right now, right? So I really want to just applaud Sagicor for what you're doing. I mean, I know that you guys also recently launched your social media ambassador program, which just takes it to a whole nother level. So tell us about that, and why did you choose to do something like that?
So, well, ambassadorship, speaking of the
Yes.
digital world, is something that is all the rave now globally. So you want to get an ambassador from here, there, elsewhere, this influencer, that influencer. And we've recognized as a company that your greatest influencers are those who are internal. How many times have we seen and heard people who work at a company say, "Me not think you should buy anything. I don't think you should buy that because I work there and it's no good." No,
Yeah.
that's not what we want. Everyone has now in the digital space, everyone has what we call a following, right? And that following has a following. And
Mm-hmm.
some of our social media, we call them our social ambassadors. Hey, Sagicor ambassadors, if you're watching, I know many of them are, but we had a whole training session with them because their brand online we have chosen as Sagicor to align ourselves with, and that's a
Yes,
huge risk
absolutely.
because so many things can go wrong. You can post the wrong things, you can say something wrong in some kind of different
Listen,
content
a
that you
tweet, a
didn't intend
screenshot,
to.
a voice note, all the things.
You can like something that just isn't just totally off brand for yourself and for Sagicor. So it's a huge risk. But at the same time, we are people, and those people will be the ones at the end of the day to sell our products every single time. And so we launched this program. It's our second staging, so to speak, of this program. We had it a few years ago, and now it's a smaller group. And they not only do they promote the products and services of Sagicor, but they comment. And in turn, Sagicor also comments and promotes who they are as well. You have to apply
So
to be
it's
a
a
part of
win-win,
the program.
right?
Yeah, you have to apply to be a part of the program. But it is a mutually beneficial partnership
Yes.
because there is value in your brand to our company.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Alysia. And I mean,
You're
I'm
welcome.
really impressed with what you're doing and investing back in your team because, as you said, it is a mutually beneficial relationship. Everybody benefits when you have a strong personal brand that you are confident in and you're able to really start to attract and speak directly to the people who need to know who you are and what you do. So thank
That's
you
right.
so much, Alysia, and thank you so much for being a partner with me tonight. I'm super excited, looking forward to more things. And I'm glad you enjoy your brand box.
I
As you heard
did.
earlier, guys, if you just joined, someone's gonna win one tonight. So stick and stay for the details. But because you're online, I'm gonna give away actually our first giveaway, which is going to be a physical copy of the workbook. This is it here, guys. And I'm actually going to give this away to Rochelle because Rochelle was in here almost half an hour before we even started. She was ready to go. She had her dinner, eating, and everything, but she was like, I'm not going to miss this. So I'm staying online. So, Rochelle, I will contact you after the launch to organize how you can get your physical copy of the workbook. So, thank you so much, Alysia. I hope you'll stick and stay for the rest of the show.
I will
But
be
if
here.
not, the replay will be up right after we're finished. So, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, we have herself just joined as well. Hi, Novia. So, hi again, everybody. For those just joining, thank you for joining the launch of my new workbook, A PR Tips Guide to Building Your Online Brand. We just had Alysia of Moulton-White sharing the Sagicor experience and why they choose to empower their employees in learning how to even build their own personal and professional brands. So right now, we're going to jump right onto our next guest, who is one of my favorites, Kalilah Reynolds. Now, for those who don't know, Kalilah is the leading business influencer, I would almost want to say, in the Caribbean. She's an award-winning journalist and entrepreneur, and she's the CEO of Kalilah Reynolds Media. So I'm really happy to have Kalilah on board because she has literally built an entire brand online. So Kalilah, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hey, Naomi, congratulations. It's so
Thank
good
you
to be
so
here.
much.
You're one of my favorite people, too. Like, I kind of, when I was just starting, I binged all of your content.
Thank you, Kalilah. And I'm so proud of just all the things that you've done in the last 2 years with literally launching this brand in the online world, building a whole news media company, everything online, and moving from not just sharing news stories, but to creating a newsletter, to creating merchandise, to creating
Website.
multiple programs, to actually hosting everything on your own personal brand website. So tell us, it's almost 2 years in, or are we past the 2-year mark now?
There's so many different dates. We've been incorporated almost 2 years. It was June of 2020, but we kind of started operating before that. You know how it goes.
Yes.
So yeah, they're different dates. They're different dates. So probably about 3 years in total, since everything started around March 2019. Actually,
Yes.
I started with Money Mondays JA, and then
Yes.
October 2020, I started taking stock, and then June
I remember the
2020
launch
is when
for
the
that.
company was incorporated. Yeah.
Super exciting. So, Kalilah, just tell us about that journey, right? Because now you have a whole website, and I see Nesta Garrick online, so I have to big him up.
Big up Nesta.
My brother actually designed Kalilah's entire website and all the things that you see on that page. Oh my, sorry. So Novia said she was actually on from 6:55. So happy you're here early, Novia, and everybody else that came on early. But Rochelle was on a whole half an hour early. But Kalilah, tell us about like what made you, so yes, you decided to launch, you had Money Moves JA, taking stocks, but then you decided now to build this whole like business online. So tell us a little bit about that experience and how
it was you. I was tuning into one of you had a brand week.
Oh, right. I did that for my 40th birthday since I wasn't going.
Yes. I actually watched that on Instagram, and you had like a brand week, and you and Nesta were on, and you were saying, oh, you need to do a website and all these various reasons. And I won the package from your event.
Yes.
And when I did the consultation as well with Nesta, that's when I realized, okay, I need to put these things in place and really formalize everything. So you were a big part of that, Naomi.
Thank you. I'm so excited to hear that. And look at it now.
Yeah.
So tell us, so now you have multiple shows, and not only that, even within the shows, you have different sponsorship packages. You're going live with Taking Stock, and I know you have a show right after this at 8 o'clock that you're going live again with as well. So tell us about how that has been, even as it relates to the monetizing, because you recently just launched this amazing masterclass as well. That's all online.
Yes, so it's been quite the interesting journey. Like you said, it started completely online with me just doing the one show, which was Money Mondays JA, which I guess because I come from a media background, I think of things in terms of shows. I don't think of, oh, I'm just going live. I think this is a show and we need to do production and we need to have these things in place. And very early on, and my following was pretty small. I had like 5, maybe 6,000 followers on Instagram at the time. I now have over 40,000.
That's small, Kalilah.
Compared to what the influencers, the major influencers are hundreds of thousands of followers, right? So and when I say small is because I had about that following when I decided to pursue sponsorship, just so that people know that you don't have to have hundreds of thousands of followers to pursue sponsorship. If sponsors see value in the content that you're producing,
because you have the right type of followers. That's what really matters.
Exactly.
Not necessarily the numbers.
That as well. And the good thing about pursuing sponsorship early for me is that it kept me consistent, because you're very tempted when you're online to start producing stuff, and then you get bored or you get tired or you get lazy and you don't want to do it again next week, and you just start skipping weeks, and then that leads to skipping more weeks, and then that leads to the product just fizzling out. But having a sponsorship early kept me consistent. I was like, oh, I have to do it because these people are paying me to put the sponsorship in.
You have an obligation now.
Exactly, now have an obligation, and then it built. So that built upon further things, and then I had the second show, which was sponsored by Exim, and then I came up with the concept of Taking Stock. And my brain just works like, if I have an idea and I'm super excited about the idea, just jump on it, just do it before it gets stale. I have an idea right now that I'm super excited about, bigger than the masterclass. Trust me, it's gonna be huge, as Donald Trump would say.
Set the date. And then I am like ready to go. So guys, please just bear with us. So as you know, we're in the digital world and these little things happen, but we're still here and we're continuing the show. Kalilah, so I was saying that I'm like you in that way. So I have an idea and I'm just like, okay, let me put a date and how do I launch this now? So
absolutely.
But what I want you to share a little bit about is just even as you have built this brand online, not only do you have your own platform, but because you have positioned yourself in this way, in this space as an influencer, specifically in business, it has also opened up a lot of doors for other opportunities, whether it is in the form of hosting or being a panelist or speaking engagement. So just tell us about even just making those connections through your programs or just being in this online space, how that has helped you as well.
Right. I get tons of requests all the time. Like I have to say more than I say yes, for sure. And I'm now actively considering hiring a business manager to deal with that end of the business, because it's consuming so much of my time now, just responding to emails every single day, that takes a lot. But yeah, doing your own show or having your consistent space on social media absolutely leads to other opportunities. For one, it is a source of consistent revenue. So rather than sitting back and waiting for somebody to try to offer you money to produce some type of content, you have your consistent recurring stream of revenue from this content that you are doing for whatever period of time. When I was starting taking stock, I started off with 3-month contracts because we were brand new and the show wasn't tested and proven yet. So our sponsors would have a 3-month contract just to test and prove the concept of the show. After the 3 months was up, I went back to them and I said, okay, let's do a year. And all of them signed on for a year after that. And now I'm at the point where I can start offering 2-year contracts because we have the credibility under our belts. So you have that consistent stream of income. And not only that, people are seeing you showing up on their timeline and their feeds consistently, which makes you become top of mind when they're thinking of an event host or thinking of somebody to be on a panel or thinking of somebody for whatever reason. Alysia, I know your internet is in and out, Naomi, but I heard some audio.
I'm not sure what's happening. Are you guys seeing me? No?
I can't see you, but I can hear you.
Okay, well, I will continue to talk as if you guys can see me until you can actually see me. What I would say about that, Kalilah, is so true, right? So many people are not showing up online because whether they're afraid or because people are already doing things. But the thing is that if you're not showing up at all, then you're missing out on great opportunities that could be yours just because you're not even in the space. And the thing is, if you're showing up consistently, whether you're the best or not, you become the first choice for different people to choose because that's who they're seeing. When someone searches for someone in your profession online, you're going to come up in all the searches because you have a podcast, you have a newsletter, you have a website, you have programs, you're already showing up as a speaker or as a panelist or a moderator. And so you get all the opportunities.
And I'm now starting to get media requests. So I did an interview last week on Nationwide about the budget debate. And funny enough, I used to work at Nationwide for 6 years. And since I left Nationwide, I had not been invited on as a guest or as a panelist or as a contributor. But this just goes to show that because I was tweeting about the budget debates, live tweeting, they saw that and they thought of me as a person to invite. I don't know why they never thought of it before, but they did at that moment. And same thing in December, the same thing happened. So I was producing content around Christmas time, like Christmas shopping tips, and I had those up and I started getting multiple invitations to come on various programs. So I did Cool. I think I did NNN then too. So it's not true that they haven't invited me before. I did TVJ. I did quite a few shows and my masterclass was coming out around the same time. So I used that as an opportunity to just promote the masterclass, which was very serendipitous for me because I got free publicity out of it just because the content was there and people thought of me to call upon as a resource. Are we hearing you now?
Yeah, and you did it. And are you seeing and hearing me or just hearing me?
Just hearing you.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So I think once this interview is finished, I'm going to log in and log back out, guys, to see what's happening here. But the last thing I wanted to say, Kalilah, is I just want you to share with our audience, why do you think it's important for them to take advantage of these opportunities that are available in this growing online space?
Absolutely. It is so, so important. And the thing about personal brand, like Naomi said, I launched my company is called Kalilah Reynolds Media. And that's for a reason, because my personal brand is so strong. I did an ad, for example, like every week we run a sponsored ad. I just started this in February, doing a sponsored ad for taking stock, right? And it's like a video, a promo teaser video, less than a minute long. And usually we start with me on camera saying on this episode of Taking Stock, and then it goes into the B-roll and whatever's coming up. But this particular week, the editor didn't put my image first. She just went straight into the B-roll. And the clicks were like less than half of what we normally get, just because my face wasn't there, just because my image wasn't there. And that tells you the strength of personal branding, of having a good personal brand. Like, people will gravitate to things that you say. If it comes straight from you, they're going to give it much more credibility than if you do. And I've had people say this to me as well. People ask me all the time if I do financial advising, right? And I keep saying I'm not a licensed financial advisor. I have no interest in becoming a financial advisor. And they're like, but I want you to be,
like maybe you need
you.
Maybe you need to be. I'm saying maybe you need to be, because
I don't want to be. I have no interest
not
in that,
hearing
because if I do that, that's going to take up all of my time. And, my priority is in giving the information, providing the information so that people can make better decisions. If I do one-on-one consultation and personal financial advice, that's going to take up all of my time. And I really have no interest in doing that. I'm a journalist first, and I love being a journalist. But the point I was making there is that people have put this type of trust in me. And they're like, if you're not saying it, I don't trust it. I heard somebody also say, is this true? Let me check Kalilah's page. If Kalilah interviewed them, then I know it's true. Or something like, if they're not on Kalilah's show, it's not, I'm not buying into this opportunity because they didn't do an interview on Kalilah. And I've heard people say stuff like that. And that speaks to the power of personal branding.
Absolutely. I mean, Kalilah, I'm just so proud of you and your journey. Thank you for saying yes to being a part of this launch tonight. I know you have another show. Thank you. I know you have another show in literally 30 minutes.
I have my box. I haven't opened my box yet because I want to make a whole event of it. I want to do a whole unboxing on my social media, but I'm looking forward to it.
Guys, someone has the opportunity to win one tonight. So just make sure you stick and stay till the end. So thank you so much, Kalilah. You guys, if you're not already following Kalilah on her social media platforms or subscribing to her newsletter, Kalilah, let the people know where to find you.
Find me at Kalilah Ray, KalilahrEy, all over social media. And you can go to KalilahReynolds.com/masterclass and KalilahReynolds.com/newsletter to subscribe to the free newsletter that gives you a ton of free resources as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Kalilah, and good luck with the show later.
Bye. Thanks.
Okay, guys. Love Kalilah. I mean, her journey is so amazing, and you can see that, listen, you have to start somewhere, even if you have 1 follower, 10 followers, 20 followers, and then it slowly grows to 1,000, 10,000, 30,000. But once you're very confident in what your skill set is or your area of expertise, then you can build your brand on that and just continuously improve, see how you can learn more. But you have to let people know what you do. And online gives us that opportunity. I remember I had a conversation with Rushcam, another online influencer. And one of the things he said to me that really stuck with me is that the internet has become the great equalizer. So that means that we all have the same opportunity to get online, really understand and hone in on that personal and professional brand, and use the tools, which most of them are free, that are available to us to actually stand out in our area of expertise or in our profession. So we have to do the work and then utilize all these amazing tools that are available to us. So before I bring on my next guest, which is going to be a very interesting conversation, I just want to make sure you guys are seeing me now. So if you're seeing me, you can just say yes or a thumbs up in the chat. And if you're hearing me clearly, If not, I will just kind of log in, log out, and log back in to make sure that the show goes on. So let me know in the chat if you can see and hear me with a thumbs up or a yes, and then we'll bring on our next guest. I think what I'll do, oh, okay, wow. Okay, all the yeses started coming in at one time. Okay, great. Someone says the video is distorted. Guys, is my video distorted or can you see me clearly? Are you seeing this beautiful painting here done by my grandmother, Thelma Carey Thompson in the background? Some people are saying frozen. Some people are saying yes. I'm going to ask my tech team if you are seeing me clearly on your end. And if not, then I am going to. Okay, so guys, here what? We're going to take literally a 1-minute break. I'm just going to refresh my screen and I'll be back in literally a minute. Okay, guys, let's try this again. Are you seeing me clearly? Let me know in the comments and we can continue our show. Everybody seeing me okay? Quick yes, thumbs up, and then we're going to continue right along because I can see our next guest ready to go. All right, much better. Awesome. So on with the show. So if you're just joining, welcome again to the launch for a PR Chicks Guide to Building Your Online Brand, new workbook. We've had some great conversations so far with Alysia Moulton-White from Sagicor, VP of Group Marketing, who spoke about the importance of empowering your employees to build their own personal and professional brands and how that benefits everybody. And then we spoke with Kalilah Reynolds of Kalilah Reynolds Media, and she was also sharing her own online experience and how she's built an entire business online with her media company and all the opportunities in this space. So the thing is that as we step out into this online world, we're doing all these webinars, we're doing virtual summits, and we're doing all these things. We're going on social media, on LinkedIn, YouTube, and we're creating all this amazing content and just showing up with our brand. But are we taking the necessary steps to actually protect this brand that we have spent all this time building, picking out these beautiful brand colors and logos and taglines and all the fun stuff? But do we even have the rights to use this name and this brand? So right now, I'm going to bring on another guest who is Kathryn Pearson. She is an attorney at law and partner at Livingston, Alexander and Levy, and she specializes in intellectual property law and trademarks. And I thought this was a very important part of this conversation because we're all jumping on this online space, but are we protecting these brands that we have built, and how can we do that? And why is that even important? So welcome, Kathryn, onto the launch platform. Hi, Kathryn.
Hi, Naomi. Congratulations.
Thank you. And thank you so much for saying yes. I'm so excited for this conversation because even as I have started to explore different opportunities in this space, I have come across people reusing my content as if it were their own, like my entire article, and then just putting their name on it. I have seen people repurposing content that I have created online. And even at one point, I found by brand, the PR Chick, there's already a website domain with that name. So what I want to talk a little bit about is, first of all, what is intellectual property and why do we need to know about that?
Well, first of all, I want to say congratulations because that's how you know you're famous. when the imposters and the knockoffs start coming into play. So, but what is intellectual property? Intellectual property in the simplest terms is really has to do with, creations of the mind. And oftentimes this can result in property rights. And so you have different types of property rights that can come out of your intellectual property. And I think the most popular ones that most of us are familiar with are copyrights, which protects work, art, literature, architecture, film, music, and the like. Then we have patents, which are really your inventions. And what we're here to really discuss today, your brands, which are your trademarks. And a trademark really, in terms of the legal definition, a trademark is anything that is, or any sign that is capable of being graphically represented and that's capable of distinguishing one business or one trader from another one in the industry. So that's the basic kind of summary of the different types of IP and what they cover.
So what would be, so for someone that is interested in, so as I said, a lot of people are venturing online, and even before that, you're creating this brand, you're building this business, and we haven't even done some of the basic things like to see if this name is available to us. And we've spent all this time creating something that we actually don't even have the rights to use, where we could get a cease and desist letter tomorrow.
Yes.
So what are some of the steps that you would encourage individuals to do when they're thinking of even building a brand?
Well, absolutely. The first thing you need to do is clear the brand, right? So clearance is very, very, very important. I can't tell you how many times I have clients coming to me and they're already really wedded to a brand, very invested in it, but the brand is actually not clear. And, you have all these hurdles just trying to get off the ground.
When you say not clear, what does that mean?
Okay, right. So by clearance, what I mean is doing searches. And the most important search that you should do is a search of the trademark register to see if anyone else has a registered trademark for the brand that you want to use. That's the starting point. But we have a lot of what we call common law rights, and you get common law rights by using a brand. So even though you should do your trademark register clearance, there's actually a lot more clearance work that has to be done. So you should check the company name register. Is there a company that has been established that has been using this brand for a long time, even though they may not have a trademark registration? Business names register. Simple things like the telephone directory. Is there another business using this name? And of course, the minefield of social media. So the social media accounts, the various handles, everything, a Google search, even just a basic Google search. And you put all of that together, and then you determine, okay, how available is this brand for me to use before you start investing?
Absolutely. So one of the things I did very early when I realized that I wanted to use this PR chick moniker was to actually search, because I wanted to have the prchick.com or prchick.com, and I realized that someone already had it, even though it had nothing to do with public relations or personal branding. And so even without knowing that I needed to do these steps, I knew I had to try and protect the brand. And so I went as far as registering the trademark in Jamaica at JIPO, registering the trademark in the US, which took a much longer process, but it's registered now. So it's a registered trademark, but then also registering as many other things as possible. So saving domain names. So I have prchick.co, saving all of my Instagram handles or social media handles, even if I'm not using them, just so that I don't have to buy it back from somebody else later just because I didn't save it,
Well, Naomi, I actually have to give you an A+ for your branding, because not only did you do the right thing in terms of clearance and doing your trademark registration, I can't emphasize, if there's one thing that is taken away from this this chat, it's to register your trademarks. So we spoke about clearance. Once you're clear, register your trademarks.
Trademark and logo. I mean, I think I even, so guys, to show you what this looks like, this is what I got from JIPO. So I even registered the logo as well. So not just the name, but the PR Chick logo. I've registered the business name, even though I'm not really using it yet. So I have all the things so that people can surprise me.
Right. And that's impressive, because I was going to say, the thing is that why I emphasize the trademark so much is that you only get the protection of the Trademarks Act if you have a registered trademark. So the registered trademark, that's the gold standard. That's what you absolutely want to do. Company name, business name, domain names, social media handles, you want to do all of that as well. But what you have done, which I'm giving you the A+ for, and which is actually, you could be a textbook example for this, is you have done a whole suite of trademarks. And, that's something I want to emphasize because, again, you gave the example of, starting your business and finding out there was another PR chick. So it's really good to have a multifaceted kind of approach to your brand because especially in the online space where the reach of the brand it's so far reaching, it's immediate, it's so wide.
Yes.
You're going to have instances where there are similar names or there are similar brands, and you want to be able to pivot in those types of situations. So you have a strong you have a strong name, your name, Naomi Garrick. I don't know how many Naomi Garricks there are, but that's
there's actually another one which there's an iPhone and a Google search, guys. Check the Google search. So there's a Naomi Garrick that lives in London. She's a runner. And so because of that, on my books, you'll see that it actually has Naomi and Garrick because she's also published and on her books are on Amazon as well. So I started that as a differentiator too. But I also started putting a lot of content online so that I would come up really as the only Naomi Garrick too. I saw a question. Someone asked, what exactly do you mean by saving the handle? So, on social media, you have handles. So I'm at the PR Chick. So even I have one registered called prchick.co because that will be my future website for PR Chick. And I saved the name on Instagram already, even though I'm not using that page or content yet, just so that when I'm ready, I already own it pretty much. So that's what I do. So when I have ideas of even products I want to create in the future that I haven't launched yet, the first thing I do is I register the domain name so that I own that website, even if I haven't built anything on it yet, just so that when the time comes, I'm not realizing that I have to pay $15,000 to try and buy it back from somebody that already saved it.
Right. And so in terms of having the range of trademarks, the good thing with you is that you have your name, Naomi Garrick, but you also have the PR Chick. You also have Garrick Communications. You have your Chick logo. You have your GC logo. So you really have a range of things that work very well together, but they also stand on their own, and as you go into the online space, you may have times where a particular name or trademark doesn't work for a particular region. So let's say you were going to London and the other Naomi Garrick was just way too famous, you just pull out your PR Chick.
Right.
You use Garrick Communications here because your Naomi Garrick brand is not clear in that jurisdiction.
Right.
So it's a good idea to just have a variety of brands or a suite of brands so that you can, you can easily navigate those challenges if they arise in the online space.
Even Kalilah made a comment in the chat. She said, I wanted to register KRM as the company, but they said it was too close to Creamy, KREMI. So she couldn't even get to register that company name. But she did the check, right? So guys, we have to, the first thing I would think is to, as Kathryn suggested, you have to get the clearance. So start with a simple Google search or check the phone book or go to company's office if you're in Jamaica and do a company search name. I think you can actually do that right online as well. And go to JIPO, to check to see if you can register this trademark for your brand or start registering the domain names. I saw another question here from Kelly Ann. Regarding trademark registration, can you clarify whether it's necessary to register the standard letters as well as the logo, or if it's good enough to have the name included in the logo?
Okay, so that is no question is straightforward. Ideally, you should do both. So the essentially what we call a simple word mark usually gives you the broadest protection because that allows you to use it in any font, any style. It protects really the core of the trademark, which is the word. But you really want to protect anything that's important to you and anything that you're going to be using to distinguish yourself. So if you have a very distinctive font, for example, you're
Right.
going to want to register it in that format because someone may use a name that is not similar to yours, but because the font is so specialized or so distinctive, just the use of that font or that style of writing might create confusion or might create some kind of deception or an association with your brand that you don't want.
Right.
The same goes for the logo. So, I know budgets are not endless, in terms of registering trademarks because it does come at a cost, but it's always best to protect anything that is really near and dear to you and really is going to act as the core of your brand.
Thank you. I'm going to ask one last question. So, well, not a question, just a comment. So Tiffany Nicole said that same, I had a whole Instagram page for Peanuts Clothing Spa and didn't do my research. And when I went to register, I had to change the name because there was already a Peanuts closet. So guys, this you can do the groundwork first. And then you need to also consider speaking to someone like Kathryn, who is an expert in this area, so that you're not trying to just figure out all the things on your own, and you can actually get that professional guidance to kind of accelerate this process and to make sure you're doing it correctly. So Kathryn, thank you so much. This information was super insightful. Guys, you can visit thelival.com. I think it's .co or .com. .co website to learn more about the law firm, and also to connect with Kathryn. You can also connect with her on LinkedIn. She shares a lot of cool articles about things specifically related to intellectual properties. I've been reading some of them. I read the Caterpillar one the other day.
Oh, that was a great one.
So it's really interesting just to see what's happening in this space and to just make sure that you are protected online. So you can always reach out to Kathryn and book a consultation with this expert in the field. So thank you so much, Kathryn, and thank you for saying yes to being a part of this launch. I see some people have some additional questions, and I'll try to address them at the end of the show, but we got to move on. We have one more guest in the house. So thank you, Kathryn, so much.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a real pleasure. And congratulations again.
Thank you.
One more thing. I just have to say, in terms of branding, as soon as I saw this pink bowl coming through my office, I didn't even have to guess what it was. So it's another strong element of your brand, your color.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right. Bye. Okay, guys. Now listen, I love Kathryn because that stuff is very important to me. You don't want to work this hard building this brand and then find out that you can't even use it. You have to build a whole new name, new brand colors, new everything. So let's just start from the beginning, get the information. So guys, we are almost coming to the end, and I'm going to reveal some of the details about the workbook right after our final guest. Now, this couple, they are my favorites. I can see Tami in the background in the green room. But they have had such an interesting journey in the entertainment space as musicians, as parents, and now they have brought their life literally on screen for our entertainment. Thank you so much. But their journey has also been very interesting in this online world. And so I want us to welcome Tami and Wayne Mitchell, and they're going to talk to us about expanding your reach and your earning potential in this growing online space. So welcome. Hey, guys.
Hi.
What's up?
You made it.
You made it, Tami. So Tami, like me, has been having some internet challenges. So I'm happy that she was able to join us tonight. But Wayne and I were ready. We had our pep talk before, and we were going to win it. So I'm glad you were still able to join us.
I wasn't sure if Wayne was going to make it. I'm so excited to see him because we're not in the same place right now. So this is nice.
Tami, call me.
Yes.
So thank you, guys. So for those of you, you may not know this, but Tami and Wayne, apart from being friends and family, they're actually the only influencers that we manage their brand at Garrick Communications. So we actually have a professional relationship as well. And it has been super interesting just seeing how the brand has grown in this online space, not just with your reach, but by having a clear a clear direction for your brand and how you want to promote, both yourselves and your family in this space and what you're trying to create, and then attracting the right people to the brand. So I'd love to hear a little bit about even your thoughts about just being intentional in this space with how you're putting yourself out there in this online world.
I guess I'll start. I was having this conversation the other day with a couple of friends, and we were talking about when things kind of switched for me from music into entrepreneurship and then into this intentional space of sharing in the way that I do.
Yes.
And I remember even a couple of years ago, I had posted Jackson having a tantrum online.
I remember that one.
And I may have been having a nervous breakdown. I'm not sure. But I remember that being a pivotal point in how, I was being viewed as a mother, wife, entrepreneur, all these things, because all of a sudden it went off in everybody's head in my community that I was normal. Very, very normal, and facing the same issues as maybe you this Sunday morning. And so, that was after that, I realized that I had to be very intentional about how I was going to use the space, because I was so fed up of the space feeling so perfect, and everybody had a perfect life, and they had the perfect children, and they were going on vacation all the time. And I was not. But my Instagram was reflecting this other version that just, I was like, this is frustrating. I can't do this. And so I was very intentional about switching my, the way I was perceived and how I was putting things out there to be far more realistic and true to who I was, because that's what felt right for me. And so I have been very intentional since, and my intention has been to tell as much truth as I can. And at the time, I had no idea that would turn itself into business, and that would be okay to tell the truth. It's okay to tell the truth about how messy your life is and how good it is and how not good it is sometimes.
Yeah, just being, we throw this word around, being authentic, very loosely, but that's really what it is, right? Because then you get to really attract your ideal audience, like the people that want, that can relate.
It's the authentic word, but it is what it is, I mean, it was that. And then I looked at Wayne and said, come try it. Just try it. Just tell people everything. And
then and for me,
like 4 different personalities.
No, for me, I was so green. But again, Tami had to show me what the space was about and also polish the content, because I would probably say some things that weren't necessarily aligned to a family show. And I had to realize, I really need to be intentional with the content that I create, especially because we want to cultivate a certain type of following and a certain type of clientele as well, for like business partnerships and so on. That is also very much aligned to what you bring, how you put yourself out there, the content that you bring forth, So Tami was very intentional with the way how she edited the show and what she would leave out. Up to this day, we still are very careful with what we leave in and what we leave out, just so that we are, making sure that we are representing, the brand as well as possible.
And that's important too, because now, I mean, Meet the Mitchells has been running successfully for two years now, right? And what I mean, from our side, we've also seen that it has led to some really amazing brand partnerships. And I think that's because you guys have been very clear from the get-go. We have our do's and don'ts list. And so it's very easy to identify the brands that you also want to work with based on your family, based on your own core values. And so I also think that has played a very important role with making sure that the content is also aligned so that it does attract people that you do want to work with and that it feels very natural for you. So what people may not realize is that sometimes we have a lot of brand partnerships, but you actually don't realize it's a brand partnership because it's already a brand that they would normally incorporate in their lives.
Yeah. Our big thing for us was always making sure that it was something that we already were aligned with, already loved, already used, and then to be also very clear about it too, you know. I think something that was really good for us and something we have done for the last couple of years is when we meet and we do our whiteboard with you, Naomi.
Yes.
We kind of set out all of the different ways and means that we want to kind of, I mean, I did when we started the YouTube channel, I can't
We're
say
one
that
of our partners online right now. I see the Grace family online. Hi, Kimmy.
yay. I can't say that we were looking, I mean, you totally pulled that through for us and was like, guys, this is nice that you're doing a vlog, but guess what? Y'all need to be taking care of your brand and y'all need to do this. And this is what we're going to do. And we're going to look ahead. And when I looked at that board 2 years ago, you could have never, I think we literally just finished ticking all the
A
boxes.
great brand that we had put on the board that we thought would be a great fit for the family. Yeah.
And we went through even with the children and, you know, with everybody, like she turned us into a family business.
I like that.
And not just a vlog, and really helped us to kind of see a vision outside of just, YouTube. And that is what I don't think, I think that's the most beautiful part of this whole thing, that we have created this whole other thing outside of it that our YouTube channel supports. But also we get to do all these other great things that we never thought we'd get to do, give back in ways we never thought we'd be able to do, partner with people who, just, it makes our heart sing, and so it sets this incredible bar for every time we do partner with anybody. And it's amazing. It's been amazing.
Yeah, and then your reach. I mean, let's talk about that. I already see MTM family in the chat, but your reach is ridiculous right now because you've had like over 30 million views? I mean, some ridiculous figure, and your subscribers just keep going up and up and up. And then Tami, you just launched another YouTube channel where people who really want to get, more intimate with what's happening with baby on the way and that whole process. And Tami gets to share some of the other softer things on that page. So it just shows you that even starting with MTM can also, because I'm sure Wayne's going to have his own channel.
Yes.
To have all
right?
personalities in one space. But it just shows you that there's just so much opportunity in the space.
Yeah, absolutely. And the best thing about it is that we are, our people who look to us for content just want us to show up as we are, and the brands that work with us don't want us to compromise our content and what we do naturally for them or for their brand. It just weaves right in, and and that's why we're very careful with who we partner with as well. It's not every call that you tell us to jump at or we decide to go with,
Or you may have an idea to do something else. I'm like, hey Wayne, we can't do that.
Right. Case in point, yesterday.
We can't do that. We had a little conversation yesterday. I was like, that's a strong no for me, based on our brand obligations.
Absolutely.
But you have to have the awareness, right? And then I think that's what makes the big difference, is that when you, as the individual, you're very clear on, I know Tami is laughing because I know one of the kids were just trying to come into the show a while ago, which were all
just one of the kids, not just one.
All
one.
Worse for me. But just having that clarity of your own brand, I think helps to set the tone for everybody else, and so you don't compromise your brand for others. And then it just makes it easy.
What has been good for me as an artist is that I still can be very creative with how I show up, because that's me all day. Tami can tell you, always singing a song, just even just turning regular conversation into music. That's me. That on a regular day, camera on or camera off, I can always stay sharp on my lyrics. Tami always knows I'm always a lyrics and thing,
My gosh.
And even things that other creators may think, oh, I would never make that as content. For instance, we started renovating our house, so we moved out, and our family cat, just went missing. and that just became like a whole theme. Everybody was invested, just as I was in the search for Pancho, and
Yes.
that became content. You know, like a lot of people would never even think to bring that forth as content, but there are so many people out there who are cat lovers, who are animal lovers,
Yeah.
who will find, you know, a connection with that whole theme. You know, so it's just interesting how a family vlog can just blossom into all of these other things and speak to so many different topics, you know, taboo topics, and you know, topics that people relate to and are going through just as we are, you know.
Pancho
Absolutely.
is back, by the way, for everybody who's
We saw
asking.
that, and I saw someone, Emily McHugh said, now you can partner with pet food now that Pancho is.
Hello,
We'll talk
come
about
on
that,
now,
Tammy. We'll have a meeting about that.
come on now.
That's funny.
So, guys, I want to just thank you again for coming on board for the launch. I mean, Tammy, I know you're not here, so I'm really grateful that you were able to work out this Wi-Fi thing and get you online. And Wayne, I know you had some other obligations, so glad you were able to make it too. And you know, I really look forward to our continued growing relationship and all the other opportunities. And you know, I love you guys. Tammy, I have one of these for you when you get back. So it's your
I was feeling jealous. You know, I was feeling jealous.
No, I know. I have yours, girl. Don't worry. When you get back.
So what about me? Remember, I'm a girl dad now, you know.
I know.
I need a little pink in my life too, you know.
Because we're still in Women's History Month, I kind of really just wanted to give women for this time around. But I definitely have a workbook for you.
Great.
I remember that first.
Before you go, Naomi, I just want to toot your horn a little bit. I just want to say it has been lovely working with you. I think you're arguably the most experienced person who I know in this online space. And the good thing about it is that you don't see yourself as that. You're always learning, always expanding, always having some workshop that you're attending and trying to grow more. So
true.
it is it's great to be here on the journey with you and learning from you and learning with you as well. And looking forward to what the next chapter, no pun intended, may bring.
Oh, thank you. Of course.
Take the words out of my mouth.
Chapter. Thank you, Wayne. Thank you, Tammy. Love you guys so much.
James. Thank you so much. Congrats.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Woo! We're almost at the end of the launch. I know we're a little over 8, but you know, we also had some technical difficulties. So one, I want to thank all of the guests that participated in the launch tonight. So Kathryn, Alysia, Tami, Wayne, Kalilah, Sagicor, thank you so much for the partnership. So as I mentioned, guys, we're going to give away a brand box. But before that, why are we here? To launch the workbook. So this year, so y'all know I did 8 steps to building your personal brand 2 years ago in March. So almost 2 years ago exactly. And it was a physical workbook available at Amazon, available in Fontana. But guess what? This one is all about building your online brand. And so I did things a little bit differently this year. I know you've seen a couple people with the physical. Oh, well, here's the book, guys. It's super. Okay, let me see how best I can do this. This is the workbook. So it's really great. It's about 44 pages, and it's all about how to position, package, and promote your online brand. So looking at things like, why are you in the online space? Who is your ideal audience? Where do they live online? What kind of content should I be creating? How do I actually start creating my content? And so what I did this year with the workbook to make it more accessible to everybody is I actually created a digital fillable workbook. So you actually can get this workbook online, or you can get the physical copy at Amazon. But what I'm announcing tonight is actually a workbook bundle. So it's a whole digital bundle to build your online brand. So what you get in this workbook bundle is you're going to get a copy of the new workbook. It's digital. You can download it. You can print it. You can actually type in and fill it out online. You're also going to get a 3-part online brand video tutorial. So it's a video with me walking you through all the steps on how to position, package, and promote your personal brand. You're going to get a PDF download on getting discovered on LinkedIn. So it's a cheat sheet, but it's actually a workbook. You're also going to get another PDF document, which is securing your brand. So your intellectual property checklist, but it's not just a checklist. It's actually another workbook. and you're going to get a content planning template. So that's going to guide you through all the steps to create your online content. So once you've done the workbook and you understand now, these are the steps that you need to take to position and package and promote your online brand. This is a whole guideline that goes through how do you create this content. So as you'll see, it's actually everything is hosted on an online platform. So once you purchase your bundle, it takes you directly to your own portal. So you can actually go through every single step. You download all the material, you watch all the videos, and then you literally can start using those tips, those actionable next steps to start building your online brand now. So this is going to be a limited offer, guys, because as you can see, it's only $29.99, which is about $4,000 Jamaican, which is really what you'd spend on a night out. Think about investing in your online brand. You heard from the experts about some of the things that they've already done to build their online brand. I think this is a win-win and a no-brainer. I'm very excited about it. I was like, this is a pretty cool idea. So not only do you get the workbook, but you get all the supporting tools that you would need to start building your online brand. So for those that registered for this launch, you will get an email after this if you haven't already that has all the details and the link. Or you can actually visit my brand newly updated website, IamNaomiGarrick.com, to learn more about the bundle, to learn about all the different ways that you can work with me, and just to learn more about how you could be building your personal and professional brand. Now, I wanted to do a couple giveaways. So to win this awesome brand box tonight, one, guys, sorry, but you have to be in Jamaica. So it's for the people living in Jamaica because that's easier for me to get it to you quickly. But what you have to do to win that is very simple. You're going to take a screenshot with me with this workbook. You're going to post it. I'll tell you when to take the picture. You're going to post it on Instagram and tag the PR chick. You're also going to tag at Sagicor JA and use the hashtag brand box. So you'll see on the screen right now, these are all the things that you get in your brand box. Alysia, you can just run it one more time. And it's simple. Once this comes off the screen, I'm going to hold up the workbook to give you your opportunity to take your shot for your answer. So this is it. Take the picture, guys. All right. So you have the instructions. You know what to do. But I also want to give one person and that brand box is courtesy of our partner tonight, Sagicor. So you saw all the amazing things that Alysia showed you. You saw what's in the brand box. But also I want to give someone the opportunity to win the workbook digital bundle. So in order to do that, all you have to do is whoever is the first person to share who all the speakers were tonight will win the workbook bundle. And then all you have to do is send us your email address and your name, and you will get that as soon as tonight. So first person to share, everyone that spoke tonight gets the workbook bundle. Guys, if you have any questions, now is the time. I'm so excited. 2 years later and another workbook. And I'm really just happy and excited to be able to share with you all some of the things that I have learned specifically during this pandemic that has really helped to even position my online brand and give me opportunities, not just here in Jamaica, but across the world. Tomorrow, I'm actually speaking to students in South Africa, in a university in South Africa, their law faculty, about online branding. On Thursday or Wednesday, I'm speaking at a conference in St. Lucia virtually. And these are all people that have found me online, whether on LinkedIn, whether on YouTube, whether on Instagram, or just a Google search. So everything that you're going to learn in the workbook bundle will tell you exactly the steps that I took that allowed me to start positioning my brand or as a thought leader in this space in personal branding, which also even led to me being a writer, a contributor to entrepreneur.com, a global international magazine with millions of subscribers. And so I will walk you through all those steps in the video. You learn all of that in the workbook. And of course, the supporting material, getting discovered on LinkedIn, learning how to secure that intellectual property and selecting your, securing your brand online, how to create that content, and everything is included in the bundle. So click the link, visit the website, and of course, you can always reach out to me directly if you have any questions. Let me see if we have a winner. So I see Miss White, Miss Reynolds, Pearson, Tami, and Wayne. But then I see Tanisha though has everybody's full-ish name. So I see Alysia, Moulton-White, Kalilah Reynolds, Kathryn Pearson, Wayne and Tami Chin, and Alia Reed. So what I'm gonna do, guys, because it's launch night, I'm gonna give Katie, Tanisha, and Alia, you're all gonna get access to the workbook bundle. So what I'm gonna ask you to do is if you can send an email to info@iamnaomigarrick.com and with your name and email address, and you'll get access to the bundle tonight. I'm gonna drop it in the chat right now so that you can do that. All right, guys, thank you so much. I know we went a little bit over the 8 o'clock stop time. It's now 8:17, but thank you so much for being a part of this launch and for all of you that have supported me over the years, whether by participating in a webinar, buying a workbook, just saying a kind word, following me on social media, sharing my information to others. I am really just very grateful to all the support I've had. I want to also thank O'Neill Grant from OG Photography, who did my workbook photo shoot. He was really amazing to work with. Alexi Linshu, who actually designed the workbook and all this beautiful artwork and illustrations. She's actually controlling the scenes on this webinar tonight. So thank you so much, Alexi. Gabby Glam, who did my makeup tonight and also did the makeup for the workbook cover. So thank you guys. And of course, again, a big thank you to Sagicor, because it's because of Sagicor where we have some printed books to give away tonight, guys. So thank you, Sagicor, so much. And as usual, you guys know where to find me on social media at the PR Chick or at Naomi Garrick. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out. I may not answer immediately, but I will definitely answer and respond. So thanks so much, guys. Spread the word. If you work for a company, listen, say to your HR person, we need to build our brands. You need to check out this workbook bundle. Buy one for everybody on the team, right? Because we want to level up and be like the team at Sagicor, where we empower our employees. So thank you so much, guys. Lots of love. Continue building your brands. Visit the website at naomigarrick.com. Get your bundle. Share it with a friend. Thank you so much.